You know the story of Jesus, at least you think you do. We all know about his birth, and we definitely know about his public ministry when he was 30. But what about the massive gap in between? There's a full 18-year period where the record just goes dark. So what happened in those silent years? That's the mystery we're diving into right now.
That's the big question, right? Where was he from age 12 to 30? After this one brief appearance as a brilliant young boy, he just vanishes from the story. Poof, gone. Only to reappear almost 2 decades later as a man ready to change the world. So what was he doing? It's one of history's greatest puzzles, and it all starts with the very last time we see him.
Okay, so to really get a handle on the silence, we have to rewind. We have to go back to the very last thing he's recorded saying before he disappears. And for that, we're going to Jerusalem. He's just 12 years old.
So picture this. A 12-year-old kid is in the temple, and he's not just listening, he's debating with the most learned, most brilliant religious leaders of the day, and he's flooring them. When his worried parents finally track him down, that's what he says to them. It's this incredible flash of purpose, and then it's the last we hear from him for a very, very long time. And after that moment, the curtain just drops. For 18 years. Think about that. That's his entire adolescence, his entire young adulthood, just gone from the narrative. A complete blank. So how in the world do we even begin to fill in that gap?
Well, over the centuries, 2 major theories have really taken hold, and they could not be more different. On one side, you've got the traditional story, Jesus the humble carpenter living a quiet life in his hometown. And on the other, you've got this wild, far more radical idea of Jesus the world traveler.
All right, let's start with theory number 1. This is the most widely accepted one, the one that's really rooted in tradition and the few clues we actually have. This is the idea that for those 18 years, Jesus just stayed home. He lived and worked in Nazareth. And here's a super interesting detail. We always hear him called a carpenter, right? But the actual Greek word used in the Gospels is tekton. And a tekton isn't just a guy making tables. It means a master craftsman, a builder, maybe even a stonemason. It paints a picture of a life of real skill and hard physical labor, someone who is a vital part of their community. And this is where this theory gets really powerful. The whole point is that for those 18 years, he was living a normal human life. He worked, he got tired, he celebrated with his family, he grieved with his friends. He didn't just show up to deliver a message. He lived the very same kind of life as the people he came to save. But what if that's not the whole story? Let's switch gears and look at the other theory, the one that suggests his preparation for his mission was a lot more adventurous. The one that says he went out and saw the world.
Now, we have to put a big disclaimer here. This stuff is not in the Bible, not even close. These ideas come from much later, controversial accounts about legends in places like India and Tibet. They talk about a wise teacher named Saint Isa, who traveled the Silk Road, studied in Egypt, and learned from sages in India. While it's heavily debated, the idea behind these legends is to explain his incredible wisdom by giving him this incredible world-class education.
So we've got these 2 wildly different ideas. But this brings us to what might be the most important question of all. Maybe we're asking the wrong thing. Maybe the question isn't, where was he? But why don't the Gospels just tell us? What if the silence itself is the point? And the answer might be in what the Gospels actually are. See, they were never meant to be biographies, like a day-by-day account of someone's life. Think of them more like theological mission statements. They had one laser-focused job, to proclaim the good news about salvation. His daily grind as a tekton in Nazareth, it just wasn't part of that particular story. But the Bible doesn't leave us completely hanging. It gives us this one powerful, poetic verse from Luke that basically summarizes the entire 18-year gap. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. It points to this hidden season of growth. He was growing up, learning, and preparing for the unbelievable task that was waiting for him. So in the end, the mystery is still there. Whether he was a craftsman in a tiny village or a traveler on the world stage, we know those silent years shaped him into the person who would change everything. So what was it for? Was it a lesson in the quiet dignity of an ordinary life? Or was it a hidden, intense preparation for the cross? The fact that we're left to wonder, well, maybe that's the whole point.